Hey, I'm Bethany Hiska. I'm a reporter, counsellor, and author. I've dedicated my life to helping women understand their relationships with men so they can start receiving the love and sex they deserve from both themselves and others. The reason I know how to help, I went through my whole life jumping from relationship to relationship, subconsciously trying to gain approval through sex and giving love to the wrong people. I felt unworthy, frustrated, and hopeless because I noticed I was repeating the same patterns over and over again. I decided to do research into why I was this way, and the research turned into this podcast. So as I'm learning, I hope you can learn with me. Let's do this. Today I'm interviewing Megan Panozzo, one of the most positive, colourful, amazing people I know. She's my hairdresser, SA Hairdresser of the Year 2019 actually, and one of my best friends. Here she is. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm glad you've reopened the salon.
Yeah. It makes me feel so much better being there. I'm just gonna put my phone away so I'm not distracted. Yeah, so much better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm drinking too much alcohol every single.
Oh, tell me about it. I know I'm doing a whole 30 at the moment.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I have just been eating so many fucking carbs. Like, I don't even eat bread normally. And it's like, oh, I'm home, so I'm going to eat pasta and bread every day.
Yeah, I know. Me too. It's like we've got this holiday mindset.
Yeah.
Just like, nom.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always had this rule, like, I don't drink to take the edge off. And now I'm like, oh, I think there's an edge. But I've drink.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm just going to drink before there's an edge, just to, as a preemptive measure.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
So, I don't know if I've gone into much about what I'm doing, but I basically, I've got the worst daddy issues of anyone that I know. And I was just thinking, I think, we had a fight, like Jaden and I, at some point, and I was just like, why am I like this? I need to find the fucking answers, like, because it's just stupid. Like, you have been there through all these ups and downs of, me dating shitty men and being an idiot. So, yeah, I was like, I'm just going to write a book about it, even if it's just for me to research why the hell I keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, I'm going to interview people about it and see what their thoughts are on it for the book. And then I was like, well, why don't I just record it as well?
Yeah.
For the podcast, make a podcast out of it so people can listen if they don't want to like read the book, if the book ever comes into existence.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh.
So yeah, you would you refer to yourself as a feminist?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And you've always been there for me. And you've always known when I've been dating a dick. Every single time.
I don't know if that's got anything to do with feminism or just my bullshitter meter.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have a shitty radar, and that is what most women with daddy issues have, a shit radar, where they think that just because, like, if their dad was, say, abusive, that's their kind of normal. So their radar for a good man isn't tip top.
Well, see, but this is the thing, right? Like, my dad was super abusive. Like, he used to get really physically violent with my mum. Are we starting? Is this us starting?
Yeah, okay, it's just a discussion, really.
So, cool. So, he used to get really physical with my mum, and I was the one that stood up to him. So I've got an older sister as well. And, like, we grew up, it was just the two of us. And then much later, mum and dad had another daughter, but she didn't see any of that. That was completely foreign to her. But for my older sister and I, my older sister is a really passive person, I suppose. And I cannot stand injustice. Like, I cannot stand it. And so dad would get abusive with mum. So I would be like, I remember being an 8-year-old and getting in the middle of them and absolutely copping a hiding. And because of that, I just went, sorry, my dog's in the room with me. I was just like, there is no way that I will ever be with someone like that. Never, ever. But at the same time, I have always, like, I have been journaling a lot lately, and it's made me think about how much I used to journal as a kid. And I've gone and had a look at some of my journals and realized that a lot of the stuff that I wrote in there was about having healthy relationships.
Wow.
Like, I just wanted to have healthy relationships where I was respected and I respected the person that I was with.
Yeah.
And because, my older sister, Danielle, when I was probably about 8 or 9, she said to me, Megan, you can't love anyone else if you can't love yourself.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because she's not that kind of person. But like, it's something that I totally internalized and decided at a very young age that I was never going to have a relationship like that.
Yeah.
And so to have a good, healthy relationship, I was like, I need to be a good, healthy person.
That's amazing. That's so amazing, because I don't really know anyone else that like any other person that I've spoken about this with that's had such a, like, that's witnessed such destructive relationships in early childhood, that's had just gone the opposite way and went, nah, not doing it, and has just, like, you've been with the same person for how long? Like, so long.
Jason and I have been together 23 years. Yeah.
So you've just done the complete opposite of what people usually do.
Yeah.
And which is why I'm so grateful to have you as a friend. So even though you've been there telling me the right thing to do, I've still been fucking up and doing the opposite. But
yeah, like, the thing is, like, I mean, you learn through your experiences, and as long as you're coming out of this a better person in the long run, then that's good. If you just continued to do the same dumb shit constantly and not actually decide to, want to be the best version of yourself, which you do, then I would be like, you're a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, exactly. You have said that to me before.
Well, you're becoming less of a dickhead, and I'm really proud of you for that.
Aww. So, what would you say? Like, how do people sort of like me? How do we get our minds around the fact that just because someone is a nice man doesn't mean that he's boring? Like, how do we steer away from the assholes and kind of respect ourselves enough to want something healthy?
Well, I think it depends on what you consider healthy, because, like, the thing is, and I mean this, I'm assuming you mean kind of bedroom wise.
That as well, yes, that's definitely been discussed.
So I think, like, the right person for you is going to be the right person for you, and that means, it doesn't mean that they're not going to piss you off and all the rest of it, because that's just human relationships. But the right person for you is going to be one who, I suppose, holds space for you in all areas. So whether it's like your sex life, the things that you're into, then, they're going to be willing to try those things as well. And, if it may not be down their alley, then it needs to be an open line of communication as to, okay, where do we go where we both enjoy this, for starters. It needs to be someone who is going to hold space for you in your career and celebrate your wins, and in your parenting, and have your back, and like, all of those sorts of things. Like, there's so many, like, the right person for you is the right person for you. You know what I mean? Like, I think if that person is boring you, just because they're a really nice guy or a nice girl doesn't mean that they're your person.
Yeah.
And if it's not feeling right, then it's probably not right.
Yeah. How about if you're feeling like, if you are I mean, I want to go more into the, you can't love someone else until you love yourself, because that is so true. It sounds cliche, but it's so true.
Yeah.
So I know for someone like me, the whole, like, just trying not to get love from someone, like trying to give it to myself first before anybody else.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, what would be I mean, what has been your advice to me? I already know, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, my advice to you. Well, you know what? Like, I mean, I suppose throughout my life, I've had periods of therapy, for starters. You know, like I've had someone to help me unpack my bullshit, and but you know, like I think I've had some really dark times in my life and lots of grief, lots of really, really severe grief. And I think through all of that, I've learned to celebrate myself because I have come out a better person. And, you know, like I think of, you know, like growing up with an abusive dad, it made me really respect myself and decide that I would never, ever, ever let anyone do that to me. And so I think it's about celebrating yourself.
Yeah.
And it's about celebrating the things that you do well. And it's about celebrating the trying. You know, and like it doesn't have to be sort of like an end goal. You know, it's like I'm trying to get better at this. Like, you know, for me, probably one of my things is, you know, like I have a career where I am becoming more well known, I suppose, and that has been really terrifying to me. For fear of you know, like that imposter within. People are going to find out actually I'm shit at what I do. And like, and that is something that I have been really working on. So that's in the trying. So I celebrate myself for actually putting in the effort to go, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And so from now on, I'm going to do my best to stop that internal monologue that tells me that I can't. And so I think that's what it is. It's not about I love my body, I love every part of myself. It's about, you know what, I am going to the gym because I want to love this part of my body a bit more. Or it may be I'm eating more food for someone and that makes me love that part of my body. And, you know, it's in the trying.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I wanted to speak to you specifically. I was going to say specifically, and I'm like, no. Bloody internet. Because you have been through so much and you keep on picking yourself up. Like, you're the most positive, amazing person to be around, and people just flock to you. Like, people just want to be around you. And that's also why, I mean, apart from the fact that you're an amazing hairdresser, I think also why people love coming into your salon, which I'll put a link down below to the Instagram and the website. So just finally, what do you think it is that made you the way you are? Like, how did you get so strong and so positive? Like, do you think that the people are just born like that, like more predetermined to just being positive? Or was it that just that choice that you made?
I don't know if I can speak for everybody, but for me, I just love life. Yeah. Like, you know, I think this says a lot about me, is my favorite memory of all time was when I was about 5 years old. I had just started primary school, so it was a hot Australian summer, and like I grew up near the beach, right? So it's like my life was made for summer, and I love it. It's so cool. And so I walked out of our back door, and there was a northerly breeze, and I could hear like the cockies up in the trees down the street making all sorts of racket, and just that smell of summer. And I stood in the backyard with that easterly sun shining on me, and I just closed my eyes and just felt like just all of the world's energy just filling me up. And I just went, this is summer. This is who I am.
That's awesome.
And like, you know, and I still remember when I think of that moment, like I'm there. And like that, it's who I am. Like I have just always felt the need to be a light in the world. Doesn't mean I haven't been a fucking asshole at times. All right. I know who I am as well. Like, and you know, I have definitely had my moments, but you know, I think that's I mean, I'm an Aquarius. I am an optimist. Like my brain, I just live with rose-colored glasses on at all times. And, you know, maybe it's a little bit of narcissism or something. It's like, you know, these terrible things have happened to me in my life. And I'm like, well, it obviously happened so that I could do this, and this.
Yeah,
and,
which is the best.
You know,
that's the best attitude.
You know, good attitude, narcissism, I don't know, but it's working for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. God, I love you. Thank you so much for speaking to me, being willing to do this.
Is it already?
Yeah. I can't wait to actually cuddle you. Yeah.
I know. I have missed my clients so much. So much. Like I started back in the salon last week on Friday, and it's so nice to be in people's energy again.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel so happy.
Yes. Well, I've loved all your outfits, especially all your cool gym outfits. So cool.
Oh, I know. I'm like, I am the weird rainbow lady at the gym. My hair's a different color every time I go there. My outfits, I coordinate my hair to my outfits all the time.
So
and
cool.
Yeah. And after ISO, I'm going to a new gym and I'm like, oh man, I've only just got people used to me being like this weird fucking rainbow person covered in tattoos. Now I'm going to have to go to a new place and reintroduce myself again.
I'm sure people love it. All right. Well, much love and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for your amazing insight. All right, love.
Mwah.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
See ya.
Bye.